Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to the 140 Hit the Road here in Fortnite Save the World. In today's video, I would like to show you how to solo your Week 5 challenge in Escort Quinn Part 2 to the radio station. Then, upon completing this, we will receive a copy of Whiteout Fiona for our inventory. As always, we do have our Hit the Road Daily and our cassette tapes in the background we're working for. When it comes to my hero loadout, I will continue with Arc Yellow Jess as my commander. My team perk is Blast from the Past. In support team, I have Story and Focus and Fight with Berserker, Going Coconuts, and Survivalist. My gadgets will be the Slowfield and the Hover Turret. When it comes to defenders, we will be back with our 3 riflemen, and I will equip each with the Bright Core, Gamatron 9000. And this is my recommended set of perks for this schematic for defender use only. When it comes to traps, I will go with the Electric Field, Wall Darts, Wooden Floor Spike, and the Tar Pits. But otherwise, let's go ahead and take on our 140 for the week. Should be a lot of fun. Now, the primary modifier for Quinn is Shields Up, all right? So it's going to boost your shield regeneration rate. But as we get into Part 2 here, that does remain active, but then we do deal with concussive shield break. All right, so it's something to note. All right. And it will knock back enemies when your shield depletes. So just something to think about as we're running through here. Now, our goal with Hit the Road is to defend the vehicle. And we will protect that truck as we journey through the desert to play the song of the summer. My schematics will come, throughout and scattered when it comes to the desert. So to get our kit right, we will find things. And then we will be encountering the unknown. There are 8 potential missions available when it comes to Hit the Road. You will face 3 randomized for sure. You also have the Strange Lands and our final defense to be thinking about. All right. Overall, though, when it comes to the vehicle, do not ride the vehicle. Do not stand close to the vehicle because the enemies always attack you first. And if you are careful to not be near, you have a better chance to keep your vehicle at 100%. When it comes to the run in general, I like the Farming Outlander. And I'm going to show you my initial pathing here that I like to take. And again, I hope you enjoy, friends.
Don't worry, I've got your back. Follow me and I'll take you where you need to go. Oh, and that storm is picking up ahead. So unless you need supplies, stay inside the storm shield.
All right. So our goal would be to get through here, searching everything before we strike, especially open containers. Just like we did right there.
Hey, we could use some variety. Keep a lookout for cassettes. There will
So,
be
the cassette tapes are something similar to like if you're doing urns in dungeons. For the most part, you'd like to go ahead and walk away with having all 25 tapes. However, it really depends on what you are shooting for in the particular run, right? If you're focusing on 100%, which I am here, probably not going to happen when it comes to all 25 because you got to stay a little closer to the vehicle, right? But, again, many different play styles, skill sets, you never know. As I always say, to each is their own.
the same old songs.
Be careful not to fall off the edge, by the way, there. It will end your run.
Yes. I think we've had enough painful silences to last a lifetime.
Yeah. And I kind of want everyone to hear my song.
All right, if you can get to this point and you see that bubble past that fence, I would grab the chest and run. I wouldn't go for the other items that are there because we got to get over here, eat our coconut, drop our teddy, potentially use our smash too, right? So, something to think about.
Spotted. Enemy down.
All right, so we have Record Dash here first this week. And then when you have your objectives, all right, shields up, increase, like I said. Okay. We also have, it looks like Husk has, slightly increased maximum health this week. So we've got that going. Just want to at least show them to you so you can see what we're working on. Now, when it comes to record dash, typically I would tell you don't search anything outside here. Right. Or even inside, you know. Mainly you're going to be going into this open sign and you're going to be finding your cassette tape in here. But if you're in a group environment, if you have your teammates coming through here and they search everything, there won't be anything to search for your cassette tape, and then you'll have to go through the time, and, you know, it could just be a little taxing there if you're trying to get through quicker. I'll leave my defenders do the work. And as soon as we can, that vehicle stops. You do not need a build here. Okay. You just wait for your searches. There's your record. And we are through. You'll get to choose a weapon here. I would say choose whatever works best for you and your playstyle. At this point, I'd be getting my kit right. Right? So I'd go with that there. I think everything else I'd be recycling right now at this point. Trying to get ready for traps in the future. You know, of course, it's a playstyle choice. Any chance you get, though, to start working ahead is not a bad thing. I would be telling you to get a fourth teammate in the bore, preferably, but we'll go with the Raptor right now until we see one. Okay. Now, unlike our previous week in 4, we are back now with our defenders. Believe it or not, it's going to feel much easier. I'll tell you, that ricochet modifier is nasty. And hit the road when it comes to your defenders and that, so everything changes with that. So I would say out of all 5 weeks thus far, that week 4 has been the most challenging for me personally. Okay, you do have a treasure chest back here if you want it. Remember, with your level 5, level 6 chest, your king safe, you are not going to be receiving cash drops for that. So please be aware if you are wondering. Now, typically my loadouts, when it comes to the hero loadout, doesn't, ever focus on weapon play. It's always abilities, consistency, making sure you have healing. Never worrying about the most of something, but the right? What works best for your play style or what you're trying to do. As I often say, there's too much focus on the most, right? The most damage, the most healing. Really don't need that kind of outlook and save the world. Okay, this is bridged out. You will need a metal for this particular one. When it comes to this point, usually I will have at least one defender back. The other 2 will come up here. All right, now this will be dependent, of course, on where you might be having the spawn occurring. Okay, in this case, it looks like it's out here, so we'll get these to defend. Turret will come up. And turret will come up. Okay, so it's metal.
Thanks for all the notice. We have what, seconds here?
Same thing here. If you go quick enough and you move the right way, you should not have to, in any way, shape, or form, have a build around the objective here. Just get those turrets up and move and shake. Okay. They do try to mess with you a bit, though. Again, we're going for 100%, so. All right, pieces are up. I'm going to go harvest that for extra resource.
Looks like you're picking up some new tricks.
Okay, then we're going to go ahead and toggle to where they say defend. Very important there, so that they continue to move forward with you.
We're on course and making good progress.
All right, let's get ahead of it. We want to hug the Storm Show bubble up here.
I've never written a song of my own.
Okay.
This is where you make fun of me for booking a tour without even writing one song first.
What? Why? That's awesome.
Don't make fun of me.
On Steel Wool's honor, I promise you I am not.
I'd also be looking for a launcher at this point if you have one, if you've been fortunate enough. Just in case you have a, you know, oh no moment when you're trying to hold the van. Or truck, I guess we should say. And then, of course, when you have your strange lands, it's a great idea to make sure you have your turrets, your slow field ready, your Teddy. So when that boss, you know, comes out, you are ready to rock and roll. I do see the strangeness. I'm going to go ahead and throw that Teddy in advance here for just a moment. Try to come over here and see if we can search the grates for a second, which I typically like to do. If you can get at it without the bees hitting you, which we can't right now, it looks like. But all right, but anyway, we have an opportunity now for about 40 seconds, and then that Teddy will be back up. So remember, don't be using your slow field at this point or your turrets. Don't let those back on their timers. We're going to start running our block offs here. Now, I prefer the boar. Find it's a little tankier. Get that passive farming from it, but a couple of block offs here.
Hey, this area is not in my travel guide. Did you take a wrong turn somewhere?
Probably.
Well, lock the doors and...
Okay, we're going to line this down this way. Okay, just like this. You want to make sure you take this stair out so they don't walk up and around to damage you. Okay. And at this point, I'll do like a little block off back here. Get this guy to come out for a minute. Okay, get ahead of it. As soon as you hear that spawn, slow fill comes out, turrets are out, Teddies are out. And then you kind of hold the line. Okay, you'll be looking for an additional spawn potentially. All right, if you do not see the spawn, then we open up, we get these guys going. And we'll let those defenders do the work for us. We're going to keep farming while they're working.
Hey, all right, more music.
Run 360 around it, by the way, too, if you want to take damage. Yep. We are clean and clear. Let's keep the farming up. And we are through the strange lands out. Now, make sure they all say defend next to them. Very important there. Defend, defend, defend. Okay? That way they will be actually following, right? Now, if you flip the other way, then they're sticking. That is not something you want, right? We want them working up here with us. We'll run into our final defense now.
Sure.
Whatever it might be.
Clever.
Again, I'm going to go ahead and recycle some stuff
Realizing
down.
The end of the world was probably the best possible outcome for my tour.
Yeah, probably.
At least you're being honest.
You're hardly the first person to try jumping
I would
right
start
into the
working
fire.
on making sure you get some
Your
traps
tour
in.
Probably was going to be a disaster.
And working.
Probably.
The important question is, would you have given up?
Remember, try to hug the bubble. You'll be watching for behind the vehicle, of course. If you need coconuts and items like that, good chance they will be in here. Just to open up the build for a second. There are like some crates here that could top you off with cassette tapes.
I'm getting a little tired of hearing the same old song.
We'll just keep opening this up here. All right, so now we have survivors. So, not typically one you want to see when you're doing this challenge, but I'll show you what I would do with it, and you're going to have to take it in sections. You have to be careful with it.
Hey, I am getting a faint radio signal from that area. Sounds like Morse code.
Das isn't done.
All right, so we're going to have these all defending for right now. I'm going to get a build up for a second.
Find and rescue the survivors in the area.
Again, we are coming off of last week's. It was like, I mean, that was a legit, week 4 to get yourself at 100% on that one. There's just no other way of saying that. But nice little challenge. I very much enjoyed it. Anytime you get a little bit of a challenge, it's nice, you know? So before I'm going in and down, I'm going to make sure my build is right as rain. %, before we're going up. Okay, if you have turrets, get them out. And again, I'm making sure I'm at tier 3 before I go down. If you want to drop a few traps here, you can. That's completely up to you. All right. Not a bad idea, honestly. Throw yourself a couple of darts here. I would say even throw a couple of tar pits here. I would have no issue with that at all whatsoever. Just so you can run. You know what I mean? And then maybe a couple extra fills behind. Now, understand those aren't going to fire through, right? All right, so I'm going to go with my Teddy, my slow field, my turret, and then we're going down. All right, and we are looking for defenders now. Or, excuse me, survivors. I apologize. So we're dotting the I's, crossing the T's, kind of taking our time with it. Making sure not to go too fast so we don't miss any of them.
We need more people like you. Hustle spotted.
There's really not a rush here. Now, last week, on the other hand, you were moving and shaking. And if you hear those guys firing still, you're golden. If you don't hear them firing, you better get moving. All right, so we're going to go up now. And try to find our other defender up here. Or survivor. I keep saying defenders. I apologize. Survivor. I'll do health.
Survivors has offered to help you on your way.
All right. So again, follow. 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 And then let's pick this little guy up. And then let's get ahead of it. Make sure on the map they're all following you. But nobody's staying behind, which they are. Now here you'll notice that it's a little bit closer when we talk about the vehicle. But we're still all right. I'm going to go with the turret out here. Usually they try to tap you right there. So I always get that turret in that corner pocket. I'd make sure here that nothing could come down secretly and get you. And you're going to watch this all the way in, because if you don't pay attention, they can sneak at you and hurt you at the end. So I'd even tell you if you have a turret, I'd already have it up just to be safe. Not that you need it or anything, but they tend to peek out and do a final spawn on you, and then you're like, ah, like how'd that happen, right? All right, let's go ahead and get the build down. Okay, so we'll just be methodical with it here. Cover before you work the shield, because they could sneak through and lob at you right away. You don't want that to occur. All right, from this point, usually I'll just seal this down for a minute. So just a second here. Let's get this all tiered up so we don't take unnecessary damage. I would definitely go a second layer here. Just make sure you got your transitions nice and smooth. All right. Let's get this the rest of the way. Okay. And then from this point, I would just go out here and... You don't need all this, but we're just going to do this to protect ourselves. No reason not to. If you have the resource and the time, you should do it. Defenders are down working for us, so we're golden. Actually, I don't like that right there. I would tell you up here to go ahead and seal that. Kind of just line it all in here if you can, if you have the resource to do so. All right. Then you can farm a little bit if you wish here, right? It really just comes down to your playstyle choice. I'm just going to keep one schematic in my hand. I don't need anything else. I'm going to keep my distance. Make sure my traps are right. If I get an opportunity to add a little juice, we will. And we'll save our slow fill for when we need it. If we don't have any other traps to use, I would just start lining the floors, Matt, with a little extra loot. You would want to be mindful typically on this backside over here. There are some enemies that could come around there.
Not my style, but music is music.
Right, you could just do like a little block off here if you want all the way around. Man, there's just so many different things you guys can do when you're doing this mode. All right. Get your defenders down. Try to avoid propane if you can. You see here, we had a little of a blowout there. That's okay. Same thing here. Okay, boss is out. You know, then at that point, you're looking at your cassette tapes. You're looking, you know, whatever you want to do here. Now, I would watch for damage pulse here. It could end you if you're not careful with it. So what I would do is I'd try to keep him down here for a minute. Let your traps work him a little bit. If he wants to spawn, if he wants to charge, let him charge. Okay, like this point now, if he comes up here, I would block. Make sure nothing's peeking through. He's not a damage pulser, so eat your coconuts. Okay, well, he's in. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that defender in there. We'll make sure we don't take any unnecessary damage. Sometimes it's just good to waste the time. So at this point, I would just seal this down. All right. Take care of him.
Here we are.
Yeah. And that would be your 100% vehicle health.
That was my favorite sunny summer song.
No damage taken
Back and enjoy it.
in your 140. Hit the road. And again, for our week 5 challenge, we have our Quinn, part 5. And then when we are looking at our modifiers, again, shields up, hero shields are increased and regenerate at a faster rate. And the husks have more hardiness to them in a minor situations. Things to think about. But with all that being said, and until week 6, take care, Commanders. We'll see you soon.